Hello and welcome. Today we're looking at various hand applique techniques. Whether you like hand stitching or machine work, I'd like to share with you some tips and techniques which will hopefully help you with your next project. And remember, Craft Lovers Megastore has some great products available now. Firstly, with the background fabric, you would normally cut out your background square, if it's a square block, a ½ inch larger than the finished size. For example, if it's a 5-inch finished block, you'd normally cut it out 5½ inches. But with applique, it's a good idea to add an extra ¼ inch again. So if it's a 5-inch finished block, it ends up being 6 inches cut. Because as you applique, if there are a lot of pieces being stitched, it will take up the background fabric and you may end up with a block a little bit smaller than what you actually wanted. Secondly, when you trace your design on the background fabric, it's a good idea to not necessarily draw the entire design, but simply draw a little bit, such as the outer points and the inner points and the outer edges of the applique shape, just to give an idea of where the shape actually sits on the background fabric. With applique, fusible webbing applique is a really handy way to make a block, and it's portable too. So the way to use fusible webbing is simply to take a piece of webbing with the paper side up and trace around your shape in pencil. And these templates are perfect for this. And then you just cut the shape out roughly and then fuse it with an iron, a hot dry iron, to the wrong side of the fabric being appliqued. Then you let that cool. When it's cool, that's the time to cut it out accurately on the drawn line. Then you take away the paper, and with the heart you position it on the block, making sure that it's within the area that you marked earlier, and then fuse it in place. Then you can blanket stitch applique it by hand if you wish, using 2 strands of embroidery thread with a quilter's knot, and away we go. But there is another way to use fusible webbing which works really well. If you like needle turn applique or fusible webbing without a raw edge, and I'll show you how to do that. The important thing with the fusible webbing, if you're doing needle turn applique, is to cut the shape out accurately before you fuse it to the wrong side of the fabric that you're using. Then the trick is, instead of cutting it out accurately on the line, you cut it out with a ¼ inch seam allowance all around. And then peel away the paper like we did before, and here's the trick. Then we want to turn the edge over, and with the tip of the iron only, just press that seam allowance down so that it sticks to the fusible webbing. That is, we don't want the iron to touch any of this area here because it's sticky, and we want to fuse that to the background fabric. Tuck the end of the heart under and then push it around. And then, once you've gone all around, you've got a heart that's ready to be needle turned using the fusible webbing technique. The pink templates and Gutermann thread I've used are available now from Craft Lovers Megastore. The thread comes in a 20 100 metre pack, and the templates are in a set of 15. So visit the Megastore today for these and other great craft products.